Hello everyone, glad to meet you all. I hope everyone know why we are here today. We have been assigned to talk about ways to improve school environment and we have to choose the best method only to present next week. Do you all have any suggestions on which is the best way to improve environment of school?
Yeah, I would like to give a suggestion. So in my opinion, a good school infrastructure is the best way to improve school environment. The infrastructure of the school can affect the students' attendance and completion of academic cycles. Several studies have found that the physical condition of the school buildings positively affect school completion and increase registration. Let me give an example. In Peru, the World Bank found that investment in school facilities had a very significant positive effect on students' attendance rates. So a good school infrastructure with good spaces made it a good place for the children to study. The impact of the educational spaces on the students set out to identify the empirical well-being of students in school. It makes it interesting and gets the students motivated to come to school.
Sorry to
This in turn,
interrupt, Alia. I do
yes,
agree with your point that good infrastructure is important to improve the school environment. But what are the uh, crucial conditions should the buildings in the school must have?
Oh, so let me clear things out. For example, of condition for quality school buildings are adequate temperature, lighting, and internet services that can comfort the students and even teachers. If you think about it, it is hard to focus in class if the light is gloomy and dim. Even worse is if the class is too hot, especially here in Malaysia climax. So the teachers can't even teach effectively if the school has a poor internet connection. So other than that, spaces for the development of rehearsal and practices such as libraries, labs, and even for sports are important to improve the quality of students' learning. The inspirational and fun murals also contribute to the good school environment, as they can provide extra knowledge for students in the school. So researchers state that poor building conditions such as leaking toilets, smelly cafeterias, broken furniture, a class that are too hot or cold, moldy walls, and plaster falling off ceilings make students feel negative about their school norm and expectation. So I think that's all about my point. What about you, Damia?
For me, the way that we can improve the school's environment is with having more teachers. Because when we have more teachers, it is easier to monitor students. At school, teachers not only teach their subject in classes, but they also play an important role to shape students' attitude and behavior. For instance, if there are 1,000 students and only one teacher to monitor them, it's hard for the teacher to do so. So if there are more teachers, the students may be in a good control at school. Next, it can also create a better surrounding. What I mean by a better surrounding is everywhere and anywhere students will meet or see a teacher. So they will greet the teachers by saying good morning teacher, good afternoon madam, and so on. This will help to build their respect in students towards the people around them. And it clearly will create a harmony surrounding in the school. Other than that, somehow more teachers can reduce teachers' stress.
Would you mind if I come in for a moment, Damia? I am afraid I seem to have a little different opinion on your third point, which is your final point.
Oh,
You have mentioned that high number of teachers reduces their stress at school. But do you think
yeah.
students will be in the same way? No, they will feel
Um,
disturbed and pressured as they are being monitored by the
Umur
teachers all
jatuh.
the time.
Um, Actually, oh, my point of view is not about the students. I I'm focusing on the teachers' point of view. So, why I'm saying this is because, as we know, teacher actually has so many things to do, not just in the school but also at their home. If there are more teachers, it can be a strong support system between them. And usually, teachers need to handle programs right in school, such as Bulan Bahasa, Bulan Kemerdekaan, and much more. So they can divide their works easily to conduct these programs. Even it is a benefit for students as they can clarify their doubts anytime with any teachers. And the teachers have time to help them in that situation.
Oh, yeah, you got the point there, Damya. But from my point of view, I think improving security is the best way to improve the environment of a school. We should admit that school is the second house for a child. In home, parents will take care of their children's safety, but in school, there comes the priority to the safety of students at school. Well, if safety is important, no doubt that school must improve their security. I
Um,
think,
but
yes.
how can the school improve their security?
Oh, that's a good question, Damya. I think everyone must have been confused about that. How are schools going to improve their security? Let me tell you two essential methods that enhance the protection of the school. First, schools should hire more security guards who are well trained and as fit as fiddle. These security guards are very crucial in school environment. They assure the parents that the school is safe from the intruders and other violence outside the schools. Moreover, well-trained security guards know how to act during an emergency, and security guards will patrol the school environment to ensure students and teachers are always safe. This is one of the methods I mentioned before. There are two essential methods, and I've mentioned about one now. Other than that, the school authorities can utilize high technologies to secure their environment. As we all know, technologies are developing so much. Why not school use them wisely for safety purpose? For an example, CCTV cameras can be fixed throughout the school to monitor the activities of people at school, including teachers, staffs, and students as well. Any suspicious activity can be detected easily by the authority within a split of second. When a school's environment is safe, students will feel secure to study in that particular school. Hence, it's clear that improving security of a school will make the environment a better place to gain knowledge. What about you, Madiha? What do you think? How can a school's environment be improved?
I do agree with you, Puni, but I think school environment best be improved by training the teachers better. This because teachers are going to be the role model to the students when they are at school. So the student will follow how the teachers act. Teachers should show a good attitude to the students. They have to be disciplined if they want the students follow the school rule. If the teachers shows violence or treat people badly, the students tend to follow the action too. Nowadays, I saw many news on social media about teachers making fun of their students. The latest one is the teacher is telling a sensitive joke about women. That is not how a professional teacher acts. Besides, the school environment can be improved if the teachers are well trained because the relationship between the students and the teachers will be closer to each other. The teachers should be trained to be patient and professional while teaching or giving a speech. If the teacher cannot control their anger, it will lead to something bad. For example, the teachers will slap the students or maybe even worse. This will spoil the environment and the moment and also make the students hate the teacher, which going to damage the relationship between the students and teachers. These days, so many cases that involve violence committed by teachers. Due to this case, it will make the parents think that schools are not a safe place for their children.
I also share the same point with Aisha. I think that training teachers better is the best way to improve a school's environment. A positive school learning environment is one where students feel involved and responsible for their learning while being comfortable enough to fully participate in individual and group activities. Needless to say, when trained teachers foster positive learning culture, students are most likely to have a higher motivation that leads to better and more promising learning outcomes. And for this, a proper support system should be developed that could provide them with the required assistance whenever needed. Just like adults, students also have their own psychological needs in order for security, belonging, competence, personal power, and even fun. It is important to meet all these needs at all times to help the students progress and be taught with a positive attitude. Any school environment where the teachers accommodate these needs of the students, students tend to be happier and more engaging. There are very fewer behavioral incidences than otherwise, and this fulfilling school atmosphere helps the students in developing the right learning attitude while establishing a positive relationships with everyone.
Absolutely, Deepak.
Moreover,
Sorry to
Yes, Alia, you may
okay.
yes,
go
yes.
on first.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, Debak. So you say that a bit better teacher can help student in developing the right learning attitude, right? So can
Yes,
you give some example about that?
yes, of course. One of the many things that a trained teacher could do is to give a feedback. A normal teacher wouldn't care much about giving a feedback because all they want to do is come to the class, teach a syllabus, and get out of the class. While a trained teacher would try for the improvement of their students, a feedback informs the students where they are missing the mark and what is need to be done to overcome it. Feedback is not only a key to motivate the students, but this timely and consistent feedback ensures an interactive school environment. It keeps the students involved and allows them to keep going while having a feeling of purpose and belonging. I
Absolutely,
think that's
Deepak.
all from my point.
When the teachers are well trained, the students also will be interested to join their classes and perform well. And finally, what is the result? They will score in the exam very well. So I think you got the point that teachers must be well trained, must be given more practices, training, all that. So now we got so many ideas on how to improve the school's environment. I'm so confused to choose which point because all of our points will make school's environment better. So what do you all think? Which point are we going to choose? The best point.
I think the best point to choose for us to choose to present is the security that you've told before.
So Damia
Yes,
agree with my point and Aisha
Yeah.
also.
yes.
I share the
All,
same thoughts as well. It's easier to
all.
explain and it's more reasonable, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think safety, I think either it can be improving security or improving the infrastructure, but my personal opinion is safety is more important than comfort. So our lives is more important. That's why I think improving security is a must to make the school's environment better. So thank you very much, guys, for this fruitful discussion. I hope we can perform well and present well during the presentation next week. So see you in the next discussion. Bye. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, guys.